Hello everyone. Reproduction is the biological process by which new individual organisms, offsprings, are produced from their parent or parents. So, today, let us discuss something more related to this in our lesson Reproduction in Animals. Sexual reproduction. The reproduction in which both male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs involved to give birth to new individual is called sexual reproduction. Like plants, the reproductive parts in animals also gametes that fuse to form a zygote. It is the zygote which develops into a new individual. Here is a picture showing male reproductive organs in humans. Male reproductive organ. The male reproductive organs include a pair of testes, two sperm ducts, and a penis. The testes produce male gametes called sperms. Millions of sperms are produced by the testes. Here is a picture of female reproductive organs in humans. The female reproductive organs are of ovaries, oviducts, and the uterus. The ovary produces female gametes called ova. A single matured ova, that is egg, is released into oviduct by one of the ovaries every month. Uterus is the development of the baby takes place. Like the sperm, an egg is also a single cell. Human ovum. An ovum is a haploid female reproductive cell or gamete. Both animals and embryos have ova. The term ovule is used for the young ovum of an animal, as well as the plant structure that carries the female gametophyte and egg cell and develops into a seed after fertilization. Sperm. Sperm was first observed in 1677 using a microscope. The sperms are produced by testes. Though testes are very small in size, each has a head, a middle piece, and a tail. Each sperm is a single cell with all usual cell components. Here is a picture showing sperm fertilizing a female egg. Fertilization. The first step in process of reproduction is the fusion of sperm and an ovum. When sperms come in contact with an egg, one of the sperms may fuse the egg. Such fusion of the egg and the sperm is called fertilization. Process of fertilization in human beings. Fertilization involves the fusion of the male and the female gametes. The male and the female gametes are released from the male and the female reproductive organs. Sperms or male gametes are released from the male reproductive organ, that is the penis. These sperms then enter the female body through the vagina. Then they travel through the fallopian tubes where they meet the eggs. Hence, the process of fertilization takes place in the fallopian tubes. Internal fertilization and external fertilization. The fertilization which takes place inside the female body is called internal fertilization. Fertilization in which the fusion of the male and female gamete takes place outside the body is called external fertilization. Example: frog, fish, starfish, etc. Zygote. A zygote is always synthesized from the union of two gametes and constitutes the first stage in a unique organism's development. Zygotes are usually produced by fertilization event between two haploid cells, an ovum and a sperm cell, which combine to form the single diploid cell. Such zygotes contain DNA derived from both the parents, and this provides all the genetic information necessary to form a new individual. Test tube baby. In some women, oviducts are blocked. These women are unable to bear babies because sperms cannot reach the egg for fertilization. In such cases, doctors collect freshly released egg and sperms and keep them together for a few hours for IVF, that is in vitro fertilization. In case fertilization occurs, the zygote is allowed to develop for about a week and then it is placed in the mother's uterus. Complete development takes place in the uterus and a baby is born like other babies. Babies born through this technique are called test tube baby. In vitro fertilization is a process by which egg cells are fertilized by sperm outside the womb. Embryo. Fertilization results in the formation of zygote which begins to develop into embryo. The zygote divides repeatedly to give rise to balls of cells. The cells then begin to form groups that develop into different tissues and organs of body. This developing structure is termed an embryo. The embryo gets embedded in the walls of uterus for development. Fetus. The stage embryo in which all body parts can be seen is called fetus. Here is a picture of fetus in the uterus. Life cycle of a frog. Here is a diagram showing the life cycle of a frog. Reproduction in frogs. During spring or rainy season, frogs and toads move to ponds and slow flowing streams. When the male and the female come together in water, the female lays hundreds of eggs. A layer of jelly holds the eggs together and provides protection to the eggs. As the eggs are laid, the female deposits sperms over them. Each sperm swims randomly in water with the help of its long tail. The sperms contact with the eggs. This results in fertilization. Though the animals lay hundreds of eggs and release millions of sperms, all the eggs do not get fertilized. This is because the eggs get exposed in water movement, wind and rainfall. Also, there are other animals in ponds which may feed on eggs. Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a biological process of transforming a larvae into an adult. This involves relatively sudden and abrupt changes in the animal structure. Frogs and insects are examples of organisms showing metamorphosis. Asexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction is a mode of reproduction that does not involve the fusion of the male and the female gamete. It requires only one parent and the offsprings produced are exact copies of their parents. Binary fission. It is a type of asexual reproduction in which a single cell divides into two halves. Organisms that reproduce through binary fission are bacteria and amoeba. In amoeba, the division of cells can take place in any plane. It involves the division of its nucleus into two nuclei, which is followed by the division of its body into two halves. Each half of the body receives a nucleus. Budding. Budding involves the formation of new individual from the bulges known as buds formed on the parent body. This method of reproduction is known in Hydra. In Hydra, the cells divide rapidly at a specific site and develop as an outgrowth called the bud. These buds, while being attached to the parent plant, develop into smaller individuals. When these individuals become mature enough, they detach from the parent's body and become independent individuals. Oviparous animals and viviparous animals. Animals which lay eggs outside their bodies are known as oviparous animals. All birds, frogs, lizards, crocodiles, etc. belong to this group. Animals which give birth to the young ones are known as viviparous animals. Animals like lions, tigers, dogs, and humans belong to this group. Dolly the clone. Dolly was the first cloned mammal and is genetically identical to its parent sheep. Cloning is creating an exact copy of a biological entity. A clone is created by inserting the complete genetic material of a regular body cell from a donor into a recipient. Sheep are viviparous animals and so propagate their offspring sexually. World's first cloned buffalo was in India. Scientists at India's National Dairy Research Institute in the Indian state of Haryana produced the first cloned buffalo back in February 6, 2008, using DNA from the ear of an adult female, though unfortunately it died of pneumonia soon after its birth. So, this was all about our lesson reproduction in animals. The process of reproduction ensures that a plant or an animal species does not disappear from Earth. This process is very important in maintaining the stability of our ecosystem. So, learning about it is very important. Thank you, students.